It's time once again for our Morning Cup of Joe segment. The sheriff is off this week, so we have Undersheriff Kevin McMahill stepping in. Appreciate you coming in again.
Good morning.
So let's talk about something happening up in Mesquite. The police department up there recently announced an 86% reduction in car burglaries. They've been doing some extra nighttime patrols up there. We see car burglaries in Las Vegas and across the valley as well. Is there something that can be brought from Mesquite down here to the valley?
You know, one of the things we do as a police organization is we look for best practices all across the country. We look at major city chiefs, major county sheriffs, and IACP, which really covers the entire gamut of policing across the country. So with this question, I reached out, and they really just do extra patrol, focused in particular areas. We do the same thing. I think it's really a geography-based type of situation. They don't have a lot of land to cover, and we have millions of residents and thousands of miles, and so I didn't see anything necessarily. I commend them for their great work. One of our challenges is the reclassification of auto burglary down to a Category E felony in the recent legislative session, and so we have to continue to focus on those things. And all I would ask is, if you are a victim of auto burglary, please call us, because a lot of that crime also goes unreported.
So here's another one. We want to talk about the protocol for detectives that handle cases involving car break-ins. One of our employees here at Channel 8 recently was contacted by Metro to complete a survey about her own car break-in. No detective reached out to her. No one explained how the case was going to be handled. There wasn't a whole lot of communication going on. So what is that protocol for detectives and that communication between the victim and the investigators?
That's a great question. So one of the things the sheriff did, and every year he sets his priorities, and one of the additional priorities this year, besides quality of life and reducing violent crime, was increased customer service. And so these surveys are the very beginning of telling us where we have failed, and failed dramatically. And a victim of an auto burglary to have zero contact is just not acceptable to us, and it's something that we're going to continue to work on. But you make a crime report, it gets assigned typically to an area command detective, and that area command detective is supposed to also be looking at it for solvability factors. Sometimes there's no solvability factors. These crimes occur usually when nobody is around, in a parking lot, maybe there's no video. We look for all of those things, but when there's nothing they can do, they still have a responsibility to that victim to call them and notify them, I'm sorry, there's nothing else that we can do in your case. And so we're working to really expand our ability to provide that level of customer service to the people that we serve here in this community.
All right. Well, Undersheriff, thanks again for coming in this morning. If you do have a question for Metro Police or for Sheriff Lombardo, you can, of course, submit it at lasvegasnow.com. The link is on the right side of the page, and you can find out if your question is answered every Wednesday during our 6 o'clock hour.